Mike Moore Media.
I'm talking to Kathleen Patterson, Mayodan Town Manager. Hey, Kathleen, how are things around town?
Doing good, Mike. We're really happy to talk with you today.
Always good to have you on the program. Well, we've just had a big festival and getting ready for Trick or Treat, and Mayodan continues right along, so bring us up to date on some things.
Yeah, so the What the Hay Festival was October the 8th, and we had a great crowd, some wonderful bands and vendors, and we're already starting to talk about next year. So anybody that's interested in vending or wanting to come to the event or participate in it, please let us know. We'll start that planning process probably in a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very good. And hay bales, oh my goodness, something so unique that only Mayodan has that I know of.
Yes,
and,
indeed.
and it attracts a lot of attention, doesn't it? Some very creative people out there.
It does. There are some amazing sculptures. I will say that I am the unfortunate person that Town Hall had for their front sculpture, so forgive me. All of the artists out there, but we have some amazing artists here in town that just came up with some great ideas to use for hay bales. So yeah, it's wonderful. If anybody needs a map, you can stop by Town Hall, pick up a map, and find all the different locations for all the different hay bales.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. All right. Well, I know we've got a Halloween event coming up and movie and some things like that. I don't know if we want to talk about that right now or maybe later in the podcast, but maybe some town business, too.
Sure. Whatever you would like.
Okay. Well, let's talk about those upcoming events. Just give us those. We can put them on our calendar.
Sure. So on October the 22nd, we partnered with the Rockingham County Partnership for Children, and we will be having a trick-or-treat and movie night at the park, at the Elliott Duncan Park. So we hope that everybody will come out. Trick-or-treating starts at 6 p.m., followed by a movie, which is Hotel Transylvania. So bring your lawn chairs or blanket to join us that evening, and we'll look forward to a good crowd. We've got a lot of vendors and participants that will be set up around the track at Elliott Duncan. So, dress your kids up, and they can have an early Halloween and pick up some candy and have a good time.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very good. And town business. Let's jump into that. Some things we might need to know about. I guess leaf collection time and all of that.
Yep, leaf collection time is going to start on the 31st, so anybody that will start pulling everything to the curb, if they want to have that, we'll have the vacuum crew out. And we always want to remind people to please just have leaves in those piles. Don't put in sticks or trash or anything like that, because that will bust our equipment, and you'll be waiting a whole lot longer for those leaves to be picked up. So, Yep, so make sure it's just leaves, bring them up to the curb, and the guys will pick them up. So that'll start soon, and we're hoping to have a list of it'll start on First Avenue, and then we'll have a list out on our Facebook page with the full route schedule, so everybody will kind of know when they're going to get picked up.
Okay, great. Mm-hmm. Anything else we need to mention?
I was going to say, I don't think so. At this point, we're looking for. We'll have another council meeting on the 24th. They continued their meeting on the 10th to the 24th, so anybody wants to attend, that's an open meeting then. And then they'll have their regularly scheduled one in November. Mm-hmm. So anybody that's interested in participating, we have those dates up, and if they need to have information about that, they can also call Town Hall.
Okay. Now, the one that is next week on the 24th, continuation of that earlier in the month meeting, what's on the agenda for that, Kathleen?
Really, it's a discussion about a pay study and then the pay. I'm sure, Mike, as you know, and maybe heard in the community, there's been a lot of pay raises and pay increases to try to bring people up to the standard in the industry at this point. So we're looking into that as well. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Madison, in case people haven't heard, did vote their Board of Aldermen meeting last week, a 10% across the board pay raise for their town employees effective November 1. And it's something that we always have to take a look at as a municipality, don't we?
Yes, yeah. Most of the time, I think the pay for government workers is not the same as corporate. So we always want to make sure that we're keeping up with that to keep all of those people that are doing a good job and providing that excellent service, that they're actually paid accordingly. So. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. I wanted to follow up. Didn't you make a trip out of town recently?
We did.
Yeah, tell us about that. What that was about, and what you learned, and maybe what you brought back to town.
So really, it was just an idea that Melanie Barnes, one of our council members, had. She is a huge downtown advocate, and we really appreciate everything that she and Ann Stewart do for our downtown. And she wanted to get all of our council members looking at other downtowns and other municipalities in the way that they're doing things to kind of see what we could do here in Mayodan. Not necessarily copying what they do, but just new ideas, things that we could try out to get people to come downtown and come to the businesses that are here and new festivals maybe or new activities we can do. So we took a trip to Mount Airy, and that was the first one, and then we swung through Dobson while we were out too. So we got some really good ideas for potentially upgrading our playground at the park, getting some more accessible items there for Elliott Duncan, and also just with Mount Airy, just seeing all of those historic structures and the buildings that they have, and thinking about the historic district that we have downtown, and kind of like just enjoying the different aspects and seeing that there's a wonderful atmosphere when you have old buildings that are being put into use and having that. So I think they really enjoyed themselves, and it was a great opportunity for them to get to know each other better, and we had a good trip. And I think our next trip coming up will actually be Christmas tree, and that'll be sometime around November 17th. We'll have we'll set a date here soon as the Christmas tree folks tell us when.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. Yeah, always good to make those field trips, so to speak.
Yeah.
And check on other things, and I'm sure other communities have been to Mayodan to see what you're doing and some things. You mentioned Melanie and Ann. It's like whether it's a merchants group or a church group or a club, there are always that select group of people that seem to do the hard work and make it happen. And we've got a couple of those key people in Melanie and Ann and a few others there that just work so hard to do festivals and things like that, don't they?
Yes, indeed, and they are a blessing to have, and we are so excited that they are very focused on our downtown and bringing people into it. The town is very blessed to have volunteers like that.
Yeah. Shop local, always a great idea, a win-win there. And I wanted to ask you, I've seen this, kind of watched the progress there, the old new supply building right downtown at the square on the corner there. A lot of work. It's kind of interesting to watch that. And I watched it for about 40 years there, just the changes and from what it was, and now it's kind of changed back. And what's going on there? Can you give us an update, perhaps?
So you'll have to give me an address.
Okay, it's right across from Mayodan Outdoor Sports. That building there. They put the windows back in, and all of that was kind of rocked up at one time. So just some progress there being made.
Yeah, so that is Mr. Quint Haley, and he is another huge downtown proponent and owns the Mayodan Outdoor Sports. So he's currently, as far as we know, he's expanding into that space, so we'll have a much larger location for everybody to come and visit there. And he's just done a fantastic job bringing it back to life, and I'm hoping that there might be some above the store apartments or some office space. So I'm still kind of waiting to hear what's going to happen there. But he's done a beautiful job restoring that space.
Yeah, it really is looking good. Yeah. And since we talked last, what kind of progress has been made at the old Washington Mill site and that cleanup?
That's anybody that drives by will see a very large difference. The piles are currently gone. We have one left that's just there because the EPA needs to do some more testing on the soil there. But they have removed the large piles of debris. And anybody that drove by, they saw very large pieces of equipment moving and a lot of dump trucks rolling out. So we're very excited to say that is a project that is done. We are working with the EPA and the state, and I got a wonderful consultant that's been working with the town, Justin Ballard at Hart Hickman, and the Regional Council and the Piedmont Triad Regional Council to clean up that site. So the next thing on tap after this is for the EPA to come back in and do some more tests and kind of figure out where exactly the bad stuff is located. And then once they have done that, we'll be able to get our environmental plan in place And with that environmental plan, it'll actually tell us what we can and can't do, or what we need to remediate, and how we need to remediate it, and then we can move forward. And so that'll be a very exciting day for Mayodan, because we'll be able to move forward with the park and get some things happening there that are really wonderful and good, and get it back into use.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that's kind of a long-range plan, but moving forward. Thanks for the update on that.
No problem.
All right. Kathleen, anything else before we finish up?
I just hope I'll see everybody on Saturday, October the 22nd, at our trick-or-treat and movie night at the park.
Okay. All right, great. We'll see you then.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, too. Kathleen Patterson, Mayodan Town Manager. And again, a reminder to shop local, support our Mayodan businesses. Nadine Cobb, Accounting and Tax in downtown Mayodan, is one of those businesses, a sponsor of this program. She's our accountant personally and for our business, Mike Moore Media. Annette and I spoke with Nadine yesterday about Buddy, her office cat. He died last week of kidney failure. We all loved Buddy. We're certainly sad, and we'll miss him dearly. The office just won't be the same. It hurts when you lose your pet, just like a family member. Nadine wants me to take this time today to remind you a good way to honor the memory of your pet is to make a donation to a local animal rescue group or humane society. That's a wonderful idea, Nadine. Lots of opportunities there to help. I just gave our cat, Little Digger, an extra hug right before this podcast. Right across the street from Nadine Cobb Accounting and Tax, a new business have just moved from downtown Madison. That is Dan River Insurance Services. They're at 110 North 2nd Avenue, like I said, across from Nadine's office, next to Avalon Salon. Tara Shelton and Casey Brown are so knowledgeable. They can help you with all of your insurance needs, a wide variety of insurance policies and coverage to protect you and your family. Whatever you need, auto, home, business, life, for individuals and businesses. Glad to have them in Mayodan, right downtown. Wish them continuing success. You can get more information on Facebook at Dan River Insurance Services, Inc. And to find out more about what's happening in Mayodan, a couple of ways you can do that. The Town of Mayodan NC is their Facebook page. And then if you're new to the area, wanting to get acclimated to find out more about what's happening, you can go to townofmayodan.com.